y'all? Welcome to Rockin' with the Stars. I am your host, Petra Uday. This podcast is a place for people wanting to know what life is truly about. We'll touch on the good, the bad, and the ugly. Come rock with me and enjoy the show. All right, what's up, y'all? Hope everybody is feeling good. I'm feeling good. That's why I hopped on here and I'm just ready, just to just release and kind of like share with you guys a lot of the misconceptions people had about me or have about me growing up throughout over the years. So yeah, I'm gonna take it to from the beginning. I'm gonna take it to the beginning as far as like childhood because that's where everything stems from, right? So, a little background about my family. So, I am Nigerian. I have three brothers. I have no sisters. So, I'm the only girl. Knowing that I don't have any sisters, like I always wanted a sister. I wanted to just see how it was being like having a sister in my life, because I grew up with around boys and even as a child, like I gravitated more towards like, guys instead of girls, right? So I always loved the idea of having a sister, and I've watched it through films or shows and stuff like that. Just seeing how that relationship could be, having a sister. I've already gotten past it because it's just like it is what it is. I'm perfectly okay looking back at it. Like I'm perfectly okay with just having brothers. Like I was meant to only have brothers, and I understand why now. But as I was young, I always wanted. I loved the idea of having a sister. So, as a little girl, like I would go when I was in middle school. Well, as a little girl, we'll just say kindergarten. Kindergarten started off and I was just like, obviously you see other children there. And I always wanted to like be friends with females. Like I was just like, oh yeah, like I want to be your friend. I want to be your friend. Like, and I will always just try so hard to make a female be my friend because obviously I didn't have a sister. So I always wanted, like, I was so open minded of the idea of having a friend that was a girl, right? So yeah, like I went through that phase of like literally people pleasing, and we're gonna talk more on that even as an adult, more on like people pleasing. So that's literally where it stemmed from. So the people pleasing and trying to make everybody be my friend, mainly females, like trying to make them be my friend because it was easier for me to be cool with guys, like not even on no romantic type shit. It was just like cool, like we be bros, like it was easy. Like it's always easier to be cool with a guy versus a female, right? Because there's a lot of complications that ends up and emotions get involved in it as well. But yeah, so growing up, I've always been the type to like, I would just love to hear what a female had to say because I feel like I wasn't able to learn a lot of like things from a female. Like even my mom, I really didn't learn much from her. Obviously, you learned the basic, but she's not really somebody that kind of shared a lot of the stuff that she went through. Well, she didn't really share that much knowledge to me about like her upbringing, So look at me, like I'm always trying to seek information outside of myself. And this is where it kind of stemmed from, not knowing a lot, not being informed on a lot of things. So it's like, okay, if nobody's gonna inform me, then I'm just gonna go ahead and ask around. I'm gonna, observe other females. I'm gonna hear from their stories, And so that's always the type of person that I've been. So that's a little snippet about me as a little girl, okay? And now over the years, touched a little bit about like influence and stuff like that and how huge. If you do follow my Instagram, I did just post something about influence, and that played a huge part in my life because I'm always on the journey of trying to find out. I feel like we all are on the journey of trying to figure out who the hell we are. Like, who are we? Who am I outside of what somebody else told me, outside of what a birth certificate tells me, outside of what any kind of paper can tell me? Who the fuck am I? But like, that's the whole question that we all kind of run around trying to figure out what it is. So influence played a huge role in my life because I'm looking at everybody outside of myself, getting all this information from everyone else and not looking within. And I feel like a lot of us get put in this rabbit hole because we are seeking information outside of ourselves when really the answer is literally inside of us. But we wouldn't know because we're young and we don't know. We literally have to experience everything outside of ourselves in order for us to understand, like, you were already home, like home was already within you all along. So yeah, influence was such a huge part because I would go into different grades, get different levels, and I would learn so many different things from other people. And so I would adapt so many emotions, so many likes, so many just different views, different perspectives from everybody else. And I wouldn't even ask myself. I would just be like, oh, you like that? Maybe I like that too. So I'll kind of just like try it. I'll just try it out. And eventually I'll always come back to myself, but that it was always like that journey of seeking, information outside of myself and trying to figure out who I am. So yeah, so fast forward until like very recently I touched on about me being in the roommate situation, right? I want to say I was about 20, I'm 23 now. So that was like I was around 21. Yeah, so I think it was like 2 years ago. Yeah, because I'm about to turn 24. I'm trying to do the math. I don't even know. Yeah, so around that time period, I had never been outside of my house. Like it was literally, I felt like, let me just tell you how I felt being in at home. Like I felt like my parents were literally just trying to coddle me and wasn't able to learn things outside of them having control over me. And it was just like, not to say like I'm in a prison. No, I'm free to do what I want, but they obviously wanted to keep me inside. They really, really wanted to keep me inside. And I was just the type of person like, no, like there's things for me to learn out there. So I need to be out there. Like I was always that person like I need to be out there to learn things that you guys are not even telling me about. Y'all want me to stay inside, but y'all don't want to tell me anything about life. Like, so no, that's setting me up for failure. So I took it upon myself and I was just like, yeah, like first thing first, like I knew I was gonna get out of this house. Like, let me just say it straight there. I didn't know how. I didn't have no money to like even think about getting the own my apartment or anything like that. I manifested my way out of here, and I can tell you exactly how I did it. Because literally around this time, I was still working at Home Depot, so I was part time. So knowing that, I was just like, obviously being part time, you're not gonna have all the money in the world. But I was just like, I know I'm about to get my apartment. I don't know how, I don't know where it's gonna be. I don't know when, but I know, like, it was just like a knowing. And I feel like that's the step one in manifestation is believing that you're capable of whatever you set your mind to. And that's exactly what I proved to myself at that time. So I manifested my way out of this house. If I see my brother did something I ain't like, or it was just like any little thing that bothered me, I was just like, see, this is why I'm about to get the fuck out. Like, I said it any chance I could. I promise you. Like, I continued to say that. And that's like you said, words of affirmation in that sense, but it was like emotion that was applied with the words that I was saying because I was literally fed up. And I was just like, I'm about to see, this is why I'm about to get up out of here. Like, any little thing, somebody can eat my food. See, this is why I'm about to get up out of here. Somebody can do like leave dishes in the sink. See, this is why I'm about to get my own shit because I ain't about to deal with none of this, you know? And that's what every single day, every single day, I will find something to validate. Like, yeah, this is why I'm about to get up out of here. It was literally like confirmation, like every single day. So fast forward, and opportunity arose, and I I met somebody else that was on the same journey. Like she wanted to get her own apartment too. I was like, I wanted my own apartment. I said, okay, cool, let's go ahead. It's shit, let's go. Little did I know what I was signing myself up for, but honestly, it is what it is. So fast forward, got into the apartment. When I tell you all hell broke loose, okay? Like all hell broke loose. And this was the main lesson. I can tell you the number one fucking lesson I had to learn moving into this apartment. And that was like an ego death. I had a major ego death because leading up to the apartment, I've always been somebody who I always had like money, not a lot of money, but I had money to take care of myself. Period. Like I never asked my parents for nothing. If it was school, I'm paying for that shit. I'll go to school, you know, because I was going to HUC at the time as well. So money, like I had it because I mean I had a job. So yeah, like I had money on me to fulfill whatever need that I needed, you know, just so I won't have to ask anybody for anything, you know, especially because in that mentality, I was just like, I'm independent. I don't need nobody. Like I can do this myself. Like I don't need nobody to do anything for me. Like no, because I feel like in that sense, and it does in a sense make you feel like the other person has power over you or whatever. But it's like that's a mentality that we'll have to learn and grow from. And I will tell you from my experience. Um, but yeah, so I was that person. I was just like, yeah, I always have whatever I need. Like, I don't need to ask anybody for anything, or whatever. So leading up to the apartment, I can even tell you how the deals were. So the deals of with my apartment, I think there was like December was free, and then the rent wasn't gonna start paying until like January. All right. So notice that. I'm like, oh, okay, that's a good deal. Like December, it's gonna be free. Okay, so that means like I can just, you know, the bill's not gonna start kicking in until January, right? So December come and I have more people that like I'm mutually acquainted with now that I've never had in my life, you know. High school, like that's where the whole thing stemmed from. High school, like I knew people from high school and we knew of each other, but we weren't well acquainted like that in our now adult life, right? So I felt like during over the months of leading up to getting our apartment, like we were spending time with each other, we were looking for apartments and stuff like that. So we was getting well acquainted with one another. Like it was like a group of five of us. Yeah, I want to say. So yeah, we was all well acquainted with each other now. So December come and I'm like, okay, like I want to give everybody a gift. Like, you know, it was that kind of thing because I'm naturally a giver and that's just like I'm just a giver and that's the main way that I show my appreciation, I show my love is giving. Like I like I'm just a giver. So I was just like, okay, like let me buy everybody a gift. So not only that, I got four new friends at the time where I'm like, okay, like I want to show them, and they're all females as well. So I told, mind you, from when I was young, you know, I never had like a female friend group, right? So this is me being excited, like, okay, like yeah, I am buy all y'all a present, you know, and then also I was at that time I was like, let me buy my brother some a gift as well. So I got three brothers. So that's how many people? That's seven people that I'm buying a gift for. Like, and I'm just like not even worried. I ain't worried about nothing. I ain't worried about how much it's gonna cost. I ain't worried about nothing. January did not cross my goddamn mind, let me tell you. So I was just like, okay, yeah. And then And little on me, I was just like, oh, I don't even have to pay for right now. Let me just go ahead and do Klarna. Let me do Afterpay. Let me do this. Like, it's gonna be cool. Like, it's gonna be all right. So December passed, everybody got their gifts, everybody happy. January hit. Huh. January done hit me like a damn brick. Okay. January hit and you already know rent. Boom. Rent right there. Not only rent, that's when Afterpay coming knocking at my door. Klarna come knocking at my door. Not only them, but also because I bought furniture as well, and all of that was in my name as well. So furniture, rooms to go. That let me. I ain't even about to drag rooms to go. I should, but rooms to go. Little old me, like I'm signing my name on everything because I have good credit, right? So it's me that it's my name on everything. I signed that my name was signed on rooms to go furniture. That was like about $4,000 worth of furniture right there. Signed my name on. Um, and not only that, my name is on the lease as well. So like through from my credit. So a lot of my stuff, literally my identity. I was just flinging it away on everything. Any chance I got, I was literally signing my life away. And that's exactly how I felt. I was literally signing my life away through any transaction that was going through around this time. Not knowing the consequences, obviously, but it's coming. It's definitely coming. So yeah, so I'm signing my life away to everything. And January hit, everybody come knocking looking for their money. When I tell you this was the darkest moments of my life because it was for the next 3 months where I was just, it was the whole bulk of my ego death. Like, it was at this point because we moved to a different place. So I'm outside of Houston. I forgot to even mention that. I'm not in Houston no more. I'm in Kingwood. So knowing that, I left my job. I left everything I knew, and I up and went to Kingwood. And Kingwood, like I love the area that I was in as far as like being outside of Houston. Like, I'm sorry, I know I was born and raised in Houston, but I don't be repping Houston. Y'all can drag me to filth and I don't care. But I don't rep it because it's just like, like it's not me. Like city life is not really me. Like I'll much rather be out secluded somewhere, with my person or whatever, and we just enjoying ourselves. Like I do not care to be in the mix at all. So yeah, so Kingwood, which is an hour away, so up and left my old life, and I'm starting a new life. And obviously, you in a new place, you ain't got no job, I ain't got nothing. And around this time, like the plan was, because I was gonna be working from home, so that's why I was like, oh yeah, everything's gonna be fine. Everything is gonna be dandy. I had a work from home job. We both have a work from home job, so we'll be able to like, work from home and still do what we need to do, take care of bills and stuff like that. So that was the plan. And now, fast forward, that's why I don't make plans because plans, no, I go with the flow of life, and I can tell you why plans don't work out all the time. So yeah, that was the plan, for us to work from home and do what we need to do, to pay bills. So we start the job or whatever. Well, we've already been working from home like before we even made the move. Um, but obviously this is before having to worry about bills being paid. So as we get into the apartment and we try to get settled in, I'm still like, none of my furniture is coming in. Like literally we in an empty ass apartment for like 3 months. Like it didn't start until like month 2 or 3 in order for like our apartment, our furniture and stuff like that to get in, or even my bed frame to get in. Like I was just, yeah, it was very much the bottom of the barrel, like just out here in nothingness. And I'm just like, it's gonna be fine. But yeah, so during this time period, I'm just like, dang, I ain't got no money, I ain't got nothing. Like this ain't it. this ain't it at all. And this is where I'll tell you about the power of influence comes in, because around this time period, I told you guys I was still going to HCC. I was still taking classes. So yeah, I was taking classes from home and also working from home as well. But I forgot what period this happened, but I know I up and was just like, yeah. After I took my finals, I didn't register for classes because I was just like, yeah, I don't have the time or energy to worry about bills and also worry about taking classes right now. Like, and then I don't got no money. Like, I'm not in the mood. Like, absolutely not. And this is how I was. Like, I was just not in the mood. Like, depression kicked in, anxiety kicked in because I'm worried. I'm like, this is the first time I'm in an apartment. And I'm like, I don't want these people to kick me out because I don't have no rent money, this is and that. And I was just like, yeah, because I've always been a person to like plan out things. And now I notice, because it's a pattern, like when things are moving too fast where I'm not even able to make conscious decisions, then that's not something that I should do. Because I'm a person who thinks about stuff, not think everything out through, but I have like a little knowingness. My intuition is okay with the decision that I make. Like it's a for sure knowing. But during this, it was just more so like being influenced by somebody else being ready, like basically going off of their time. And that's how I noticed. That's why I don't know if y'all can take a look back about y'all lives as well, and y'all can see when you started moving on somebody else's time. Notice how shit didn't go out how you thought it would be because you was working on somebody else's time and not your own. That's what I'm saying. So that's why I say the power of influence, right? Because I'm having somebody here in my ear, talking to my ear, like, yeah, it's gonna be fine. Like, oh, girl, it's good. It's good, 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 And I'm not really like for sure about everything. I'm allowing somebody else to tell me how things are gonna work out when at the end of the day, none of us know what the fuck what's gonna happen. Like, none of us knows. But me being swayed, I was able to like, okay, well, let's see. Because in the past, I could be really, really easily swayed. Now I'm able to like rationalize things and actually sit down and like, nah, I don't think this is gonna be best for me. But in the past, yes, I can definitely could have been easily swayed. During this time, I was just like, yeah, I'm quitting school. I don't want to do this anymore. It's a lot to worry about. I'm worried about finances. I'm worried about, all these other stuff. Like, I don't have time for this. So I say, you know what, let me just go ahead and not re register for school. All right. That was one. Secondly, I was just like, okay, so now I'm just working and I'm depressed. Like, I'm working from home and I'm not feeling it. I'm not feeling it at all. Like, it made me feel my problems even more because it's all you have is literally a computer desk at the end of the corner of your room. And that's it. Like, you don't know nobody else in Kingwood. All we have is each other in this apartment, but we're separately, going to work. So yeah, so that didn't make shit better either. So I was just like, I'm not feeling this either. Like, this is just not it. Like, oh my goodness. That time period, I was just like, no, this is not the move at all. So once again, the power of influence come in, and my roommate was feeling the same exact way. She was feeling the same. She wasn't feeling work, and she was just like, "Yeah, I ain't about to go back to work." And I'm like, "Damn, if you're not gonna go back to work, shit, I don't want to go back to work either." And it's just more so like that. And I was just like, "Dang," because like when you don't want to be like the only person not doing something. You got a whole friend group and everybody want to do something. It's like peer pressure basically. But we used to call it something. It's called like a Jones effect. You see somebody else doing it and then that makes you want to do it. I used to work in sales, so that term is called Jones effect. That's what we used to call it. So yeah, so that's kind of how it was. That's how it played out. So she wanted to quit, and then I was just like, damn, like I don't want to be the only one stuck in my goddamn room while you have all this free time to, enjoy the living space, So that's when shit we both quit at the same damn time, and we just never like we never showed up again, and that was when shit got really really bad. And like you said, that's what I'm saying. Like, notice a lot of the times when you make decisions that aren't yours, shit don't work out how it's supposed to because you're not following your own self. You're following somebody else's, motives. You're being a follower. You're not being a leader. So yeah, so that's when shit got even worse. And I tell you, it got even worse because I don't have no job. I ain't going to school. I'm literally on a mattress in this room that got no furniture, in this house that got no furniture because our furniture didn't come here yet. And I literally have to sit in this room by myself. So imagine how I felt. Like, it was just not pretty at all. Like, it was just not a fun experience. So fast forward, and I'm just in my room. Like, I'm just like, yeah, this ain't it. This ain't the move. And meanwhile, like on the flip side, my roommate, she's saying she's at peace. Like, this is the best she's ever felt. And not knocking it. Like, it just is what it is. We were both going through different emotions at the time. But she was posting all everywhere and she was at peace and stuff like that. Meanwhile, I'm just cuddling myself. Like, I'm just like, hopefully. Like, I was literally, I felt like I had nobody. Like, obviously, I wasn't talking to my parents because, when they feel like, you went against them or whatever, child, that's even another story. But they feel like that you went against them, they gonna be like, okay, well, you do you. And that's how I felt. Shit, it was a lot of ego that was in the mix of everything. Um, but yeah, so yeah, I wasn't talking to nobody. It was just by myself. So yeah, so that was that period where I was just like, yeah, I have nobody. And obviously, you know, it's like I can't blame anybody else for knowing how to, like, treat me while I was in this state. But I can also see and I can understand why I'm able to see why not everybody is like me. That's why I said, like, it taught me that not everyone is like me. And I had to learn that lesson because I was trying to seek me in everybody else. But not everybody is like me, you know? So fast forward, and I'm feeling how I'm feeling. And I'm like, I'm crying myself to sleep, like, bro, like, this sucks, And it's just not a pretty feeling. It was not a pretty feeling at all. Like, I feel like I had nothing to live for. It's like, as dramatic as it sounds, but that was the lowest of the low because I was like, I've never had no money to like, to not take care of myself. I always could take care of myself. And during this period, I forgot to mention, like, my roommate was the one that had to, like, take care of financial things or whatever because she was doing her thing. I'm not even gonna tell her business or whatever, but she was getting money how she got money. And so she was the one that was taking care of financial things. And that's why I said, like, looking back on everything, God didn't place me in a position that I just had nobody. No. In that moment, it felt like I had nothing. It felt like I had nobody. But that's why I was so, so appreciative. Like, I was still appreciative. Like, bro, like, I'm so appreciative that, like, I had somebody that was able to, you know, financially help because I've never been in a state where that was literally the first time I've been in a state where I had no money, I had nothing, and I needed that because my ego was just running rampant out here in these streets. Like, I got this, I don't need no help. So literally, God was like, oh, okay, for real, I'm gonna place you in a spot where you're gonna have to ask for help, like, because it's healthy. Like, I feel like even in this age, well, then we were in that phase where it was just like, I'm independent. I ain't got to worry about nobody. Like, I handle this myself, this and that. But no, when somebody said like it takes a village, it do take a village. Like, you can't do everything yourself now. You have to allow help. And that's what I had to learn. It was a big, ooh, that was a tough pill to swallow. Let me tell you, it was a really tough pill to swallow because I'm not a person that asks for help. Now I've, adapted that and like try allow people to help me, because that's what people are here for. People that aren't in your life are here to help you. Well, I'm not gonna say all. Everybody don't have the same motives, but allow the people that want to help you. So yeah, that was definitely something I had to learn, and it was a tough lesson for me to learn, but I'm glad I learned it. And that's why I say, like, people need to know that just because you are down at this moment, it's not forever. And that's other people looking in, and I'm talking about you as well. You being in that position. And I say other people looking in as well because this roommate that I had, like, while I was in this position, like, obviously she's not able to understand that I was for real when I said, like, I've never been in this position to not have money. In her eyes, it was just on some, she ain't got no money. Like, it was more so like power. She felt like she had power over me because I was at this state where I didn't have any money. So she was the one, she was the breadwinner in this predicament. So she felt like she had power over me, right? But in my head, I'm just like, I know this is a lesson for me. But obviously, outside people wouldn't understand the lesson that I had to learn because it's my lesson. So that's why I say, like, you see other people at their down moments, like, you should not judge. You should not, like, look at them any kind of way because God can flip that switch real quick and fast in a hurry. And that could be you in that position. And then how would you feel? You feel me? So it's like, that's why, like, I look at things now and I'm just like, yeah, I feel bad for a lot of people because God can quickly show somebody like how the tables can turn real quick. And I'm gonna go ahead and go on with this story because it's exactly what happened. So in this position, I was just like, I understood all the lessons that I had to go through at this time. And it was literally me asking for help. And I can tell you the last level, like me slaying a dragon, was asking my dad for help. Oh, child. Girl, let me tell you, that was the hardest lesson. Oh my goodness, that was the hardest lesson I had to learn. Me slaying a dragon was me asking my dad for help because him and his ego. That's where I got it from. Okay, so that was like that was the slaying a dragon. Like, that was the end of the level. And then when I did that, that's when boom, shit started changing. Shit started turning like for the good because that was the last lesson that I need to learn. But as I was in this period of like trying to understand, like, why me? Like, why is this happening to me? Before I understood all the, lessons that I had to learn, obviously I'm just looking out like, she's at peace. Like, how come like everything is happening easier for her? Like, I'm trying to do all these different things to get money and it's not working. Like, and thank God for that. Okay, that's all I gotta say. Baby, I don't need that karma. But yeah, so like I'm trying to do all this, that, and the third, and nothing has happened for me because, like I said, my path is divinely guided. I don't need to be lying, cheating, and stealing to get any of the money that I need to get. Whatever happens, happens. But that's what I'm saying. Like, maybe I was trying to do all this, that, and the third, and nothing was working. And I'm so grateful for that. Okay. But yeah, so that's what I'm saying. To each his own. Like, to each his own. But I'm not the type of person like that goes around doing under the table things to live my life. Like, it's more so Not to say I'm a saint, but it's just like I don't feel the need to have to do that. In that period, I was just like, I'm gonna try anything, I'm gonna try whatever. And I was just like, bro, nothing is working. So I said, you know what, whatever. It's not made for me, and that's okay. So, so yeah, so during this period, I was just like, you know what, whatever. Let me just go ahead and try to look for a job. And then this is when she recommended doing babysitting. I was like, okay, well, I've never done babysitting like, professionally. I only did like for like my aunts or whatever. So I said, let me give that a try. And then that's when, I babysat two little girls and I loved it. Like, it was such an easy job, but it was just like, okay, I need more. Like, I feel like I'm here to do more than just be a babysitter, you know? And that was the feeling that I felt inside of me. So, while just to get more stable, I was babysitting and I also worked at Lowe's as well at the same time, just to get back on my feet, because I'm like, okay, like I did not feel like I was at home. Like, and I did not feel like I was at home. I did not allow myself to be comfortable because I'm like, okay, somebody else has to like look after me. And I'm like, bro, it's not a good feeling for me. For me, it wasn't a good feeling, because I'm like, yeah, this ain't cute. So I said I was never the type to just allow somebody to just like sit down and relax on the couch and allow somebody to take care of me. No, like I stayed in my room and I was just like, nah, I need to get my shit together. I need to get a job, you know, and do what I need to do, So that's what I did. So I was working at Lowe's and I was working at I was babysitting at the same time just to get my feet back up, And slowly but surely things were starting to look up because I'm like, okay, I'm getting myself out of this rut. Like I'm finally, picking myself back up. And I felt great because not only that, like stimulus check came in as well. And I was just like, oh, let me take care of myself. Let me do my room. Like, and I love decorating my room. That's one thing I love. Like, I love creating a space for me to actually sit back and like enjoy the space that I'm in, you know? So I was like doing things to take care of myself and stuff. And I appreciated this. Like, I really did. But that's why I say, like, even in the last episode about how when that dynamic shifts about and you're on a come up, right? Because some people when you're on that come up, some people have a problem with that because they feel like they thought, let me just say, they thought you were gonna stay at that bottom space forever. But no, one thing about me, like when it's time for me to level up, I'm a level up. Period. And that's why I try to tell people, but people don't believe in me. So that's why I say, like, when you see somebody at their worst, don't think that they're gonna be at their worst forever. And I feel like people have that misconception about me, and this is where the misconceptions come in. Like they believe like, oh, like, okay, I'm gonna be able to always take advantage of you being nice or always take advantage of you being at your lowest point, you know? And that's what I want to debunk right now because it's like I'm not the type of person to throw something at their face. Like if I helped you, if I gave you money or anything like that, or if I took care of things, I'm not gonna hang it over your head and say like I did this for you, so you're supposed to do this, this, that, and the third. I'm not the type of person because when I give, I don't give with conditions. Mm. Girl, oh, look at me spitting. Okay, I do not give with conditions. I don't give with conditions like, oh, I gave this to you, so now you have to do this to me. No, I give out of the kindness of my heart. But what I have to learn is that not everybody give with the kindness of their heart. Not everybody give with pure intentions. Some people give to get something in return. And I'm not the type of person. So that's what I had to learn in this house is that not everything is free. It's so you think something is free. And that's what I'm saying. I didn't even think, you know, her taking care of the finances that we had together. I didn't think like, it was free because I was in my head, I was just like, bro, I have to get this. I have to like I even told myself like I owe her in this sense. Like I do owe her. Like I was holding it like, yeah, like damn, I owe her because she was taking care of all this things or whatever. But now looking back, it was just like my energy is priceless. And I feel like me just being there for her as a real ass friend, that's worth more than money can even fucking buy. Like money is just paper. Like that shit, like what do you mean? You can be on the come up and then next thing you know, you lose all of that shit. But what you have is memories, you know? And I feel like me being there for her as a good ass friend, showing her what unconditional love is, that beats what money can even fucking buy. Like, what? I have to like sit back and actually think on that, like reflect on it. Because I was even telling her, I was like, I'm gonna pay you back. I promise you. I promise you. And one thing about me, like I don't like to break my promises. I really don't like to break my promises at all. But in this moment, felt like that was something I had to do. Like I had to break that promise because I felt like me giving my hard earned money, it was just being wasted. Like if I gave it to this person, to this type of person, you know, because the way she treated money was like, it was just like, whatever. Like, I'm just gonna splurge. I'm just gonna do this. I'm just gonna like, and to each his own. I'm just saying, but like, I have to take a step back and I'm like, bro, I'm working two jobs to get money. And then if I give it to you, you're just gonna splurge it on shopping, on clothes that you're not even gonna wear. And then not to drag or anything like that, because I'm not here to drag or anything. I'm just trying to like show y'all to paint the picture. Like I felt like my money would have been a waste. And I'm like, sometimes like when I see greed, like that greedy energy comes into the mix, that's when I start to notice. And it's just like sometimes some people don't need an excess amount of things, because when they do have an excess amount of things, that's when their true nature comes out. And that's what was being shown to me. Like that was what was being shown to me. I'm not the type of person to come around and like, oh, I have so much money. I'm about to do this, this, and that, and that. No, I don't spend money out here like crazily. Like, and if you do, that's your money. I don't watch people's pockets either. But I felt like my pockets were being watched. Like I was decorating my room, I was doing all of this or whatever. And I'm I'm seeing little subliminals like, oh, people got money now, they don't know how to act, like stuff like that. And I'm just like, come on. Like, really? Like, no. But yeah, that was a lot that was going through there. So that's what I'm saying. Like, that was a lesson I had to learn. I had to learn self love out of there. I had to learn setting my boundaries. And I'm gonna get more into like setting my boundaries as well, in that position, because sometimes you feel like you put yourself in this box where you feel like you have to keep overexerting your energy, and you feel like if you are able to set that boundary, then that will make somebody unhappy. But at the end of the day, this is about you. This is about how you feel. If you feel drained, if you feel like your energy is being exerted, then there needs to be a change. And I took that change, and hell, everything fell to shambles. But everything fell to shambles because it needed to. That the ground was rocky already. So it brought everything down. Because once I started setting my boundaries, and that's how you know when you set your boundaries and you notice that there's a shift in energies, then that's not your real friend. That is not your real friend at all. Because if I was a friend and somebody set their boundaries with me, I would not hold it against them. I'll be like, I completely understand. And I would take that into account. Like, okay, she felt this way because I did this. I wouldn't be like, oh, like, now you got some money, you don't know how to act, stuff like that. And it's just like, yeah, no, we ain't doing that. But thank you guys so much for staying this long. Stay tuned for more episodes, and y'all have a good one.